News 8 at 4 starts now.
I've been thinking for the last couple of years, do I need to get a part-time job or something?
While natural gas supplier UGI is proposing an 8% rate hike, some are wondering what they might have to do to make ends meet in today's economy. Thank you so much for joining us for News 8 at 4, everybody. I'm Tasmin Mahfouz.
And I'm Michael Fuller. The first of 10 public hearings kicked off today. This one in Lancaster County. That's where we find News 8's Meredith Jorgensen, who has more on what happened.
Yeah, and Meredith, what can we expect at the next one, which starts in just about 2 hours?
Well, hopefully there'll be more people there to testify, because today there were more media people than there were participants inside the meeting room here at the Manheim Township Public Library for the first of these meetings. Just 2 residents who were UGI customers got up to speak and give testimony about their opinions of the proposed 8% rate hike, but both said, for the record, they don't like it. Planners say they anticipated this. The first of 10 hearings, which will be held throughout the UGI service territory, might not be as busy as the others because it was scheduled for during the day. That's why there's another one set to start at 6 p.m., giving customers more flexibility to come and share their opinions about the rate hike. 2 people, 1 man, 1 woman, both retired, testified at today's hearing, saying they don't think they can afford the proposed 8% rate hike. UGI says the price increase is necessary to maintain the pipeline infrastructure and to keep gas supply safe and reliable. The 2 Lancaster County customers said they believe the hike is too high.
An 8% increase is crazy high. I mean, when I was on a school board, we tried not to raise taxes any more than 2 or 2.5% because it's a lot and because people can't afford anything. And so 8% to me seems colossal.
The Public Utility Commission, which presides over the hearing, says the rate hike equates to an increase of about $10 a month for the average customer. The customers who testified today questions how much profit the company would be making as a result of the increase. Planners do expect more people to testify tonight, but they say other cities where these hearings will take place, including specifically Wilkes-Barre and Reading, where those hearings will be held in those cities later on this week. They do expect greater crowds there. But for now, we're waiting to see how many people will show up for the 6 o'clock hearing, which will step off, obviously, in 2 hours. That's the latest here now in Manheim Township, Lancaster County. I'm Meredith Jorgensen, WGAL News 8.
All right, Meredith, thank you. And breaking at 4, a Dauphin County woman is facing charges for falsely reporting being sexually assaulted by several employees at a restaurant in Swatera Township. 26-year-old Priscilla Guzman faces a misdemeanor charge of false reports to law enforcement and for making terroristic threats. So according to court documents, in February, Guzman told police 4 individuals at El Rancho restaurant sexually assaulted her. Police say they viewed surveillance footage and interviewed employees at the restaurant, but didn't find any evidence. So documents, they also say that police questioned Guzman, but said she didn't remember making the claims. Then on March 18th, court documents say she and another woman, Tamara Guzman, threatened a man who had previously worked with Priscilla at the restaurant. Police say this happened at the Walmart on Grayson Road. They say after Priscilla tried to apologize for a previous incident at El Rancho, both women became aggressive and even threatened to kill them. Police say Tamara also threw a box of cereal towards the man's child, but he was able to stop it. Both of the women have court hearings scheduled for next month. And an update out of Lancaster County on a story we brought you as breaking news Friday night. The county coroner has identified the man who died in a fiery crash on Westco Calico Township as 67-year-old John Miller of Stevens. Miller was pronounced dead at the scene. He was the only person inside the vehicle, and the coroner has ruled the death as an accident. Now, just after 4 on Friday, the Ephrata Police Department says crews were called to the 100 block of Mill Road after an SUV went off the road, crashed into a home, and caught fire. Ephrata police say 1 person was inside the home at the time, but thankfully they weren't hurt. Still no word on what caused Miller to lose control and go off the road.
And in York County, 1 person had to be taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation after a house fire. Firefighters were called out just before 5 a.m. to the home on the 1900 block of Stoverstown Road. That's near Slagle Road in North Codorus Township. The assistant fire chief says when they arrived, smoke was pouring out the front of the home. Firefighters found the flames in the basement. They were able to quickly contain it just to that area. Med Ed was called to disconnect the electricity. The Red Cross says 5 people are affected. And right now in Dauphin County, a bridge is set to undergo repairs. A tanker truck carrying milk crashed into it this weekend. The bridge is on Powell's Valley Road, just east of the intersection with Dividing Ridge Road in Wayne Township. That's south of Halifax. Now, the Dauphin County Hazmat Response Team says that crash around 4 Saturday morning, it caused fuel and milk to spill into a nearby waterway. Crews worked for several hours to control the flow to reduce the environmental impact. Luckily, no one was hurt, but state police are still investigating the crash. PennDOT is assessing the situation and also working on a repair plan, but travelers should seek alternate routes for the time being.
Well, right now, while the cost of regular gas is holding steady in Pennsylvania with the state average at $3.94, the same that can't be said about diesel. The price still ticking up, closing in on that $6 mark, and the higher cost of gasoline and diesel will soon impact how much it costs you to ship packages. 8 on Your Side political reporter Tom Lehman is live at the post office in downtown Harrisburg on how you may be affected with this change. Tom.
Yeah, Michael, you know, if you walk down the street, go to the post office here in Harrisburg, you might end up paying a little more to ship a package. That is because USPS is asking for a rather unprecedented fuel surcharge amid the war in Iran and the higher fuel prices. So USPS announcing last week that it was seeking a temporary 8% price hike to help offset higher shipping costs because of fuel costs amid the war in Iran. This would go into effect on April 26th and remain in place until January 17th. UPS, DHL, and DHL Express and FedEx have all announced similar demand surcharges, particularly in the case of UPS and FedEx for packages headed to the Middle East. One person I spoke with at the Harrisburg post office said he is already seeing higher prices firsthand.
I had a quote of $40 to get a pack of checks sent to me today and denied that. So all the prices are going up everywhere. It's a trickle-down effect, and I don't want to see $5 a gallon gas again because I travel for work and it hurts.
Businesses, too, are feeling the pinch from the higher costs of goods, with owners debating whether or not to pass those increases down to their customers. I'll have more about what one business owner has to say about that coming up at 5. But for now, here in Harrisburg, Tom Lehman, WGAL News 8.
And taking a live look over York after a cool weekend, it's a gorgeous Monday, and soon we're going to be feeling temperatures in the 70s. Can I get a woo?
Woo! Can I get a woo? We love that now. So let's get a check on your forecast with meteorologist Mary Ellen Pan. Mary Ellen Pan, can we get a woo?
Yes, I'm so excited too. Just 2 days ago, we were in the 40s. Can you believe it? Yes. So we actually had a couple areas hit 70 today. Winds coming in from the southwest really helping to boost those readings. They are starting to diminish a little bit. Still picking up close to 18 miles per hour there in Lebanon. But as we head through the evening, they will die down. Temperatures 70 in Lewistown. We've got a 72 in Chambersburg. Elsewhere, temperatures are in the mid to upper 60s. We're near 70 in Lebanon and in Selinsgrove. So here's a look at Storm Team Live Radar Network. You see a couple sprinkles trying to pop up there in Dauphin County, and that is a chance, but most everybody stays dry. We just have plenty of cloud cover around, but we'll see those clouds thinning out as we head into the overnight period. Skies will become partly cloudy. It's going to be a warm one. This evening we're in the 60s. Overnight, lows in the 50s. Our average high this time of the year is 57. We're actually going to be close to that for overnight lows, but that sets us up for temperatures to soar well into the 70s tomorrow. I'll talk about how warm it is going to get, plus our storm chances. They are going to be increasing with this warmer weather, so I'll pinpoint our chances coming up with the Look at Predictor.